Hey friends, me Jensen here. Today I wanted to give you guys some tips on, explaining a little bit how your body is always telling a story and it's always pointing you in the direction that you need to go for your personal healing and your personal growth. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I was going to wait until I took a shower, but I was feeling very inspired right now, and so that's why this hat's coming into play today. So this video is going to be a little bit chakra related, a little bit Reiki related, a little bit law of attraction related, a little bit common sense related. So I'm going to just use myself as an example. Before I went for my first Reiki session, I had chronic health issues, okay? Just skin issues, immune system issues. I had joint issues. I had chronic headaches. I had, one of my main physical issues was I had problems with my knees for a long time. I had attributed that to being in sports and, pounding on my legs so much. I did gymnastics and soccer, and so I just thought that came with it. Knowing what I know now, I know that as long as you are in balance in terms of your chakras and, your energy is in balance, you aren't susceptible to that kind of stuff. As long as you are metabolizing what you need from the universal energy, God energy, source energy, whatever you want to call it, you just won't be susceptible to that stuff. So for instance, I went in for my first session before I knew anything about Reiki, and I wanted to get my chakras balanced, just because at that point, you get to kind of a point where you're like, I've tried everything. And for me, it was like, I had this urge to try these alternative methods, more natural methods, which I think we're in a time period now when people are going back to more natural things. And that's not a coincidence. There's such thing as the collective unconscious, and we are all part of that. So we're all having these urges to go back to more natural forms of healing, and alternative sources, energy healing, and not necessarily looking at our bodies like they're such a machine, because our bodies are actually an intelligent organism, and everything that it does has a reason. And our body can't talk to us in words, but it can talk to us in other ways. So for instance, I went in and she checked my chakras, and I was pretty much blocked everywhere except for up here, which made such total sense because I pretty much lived in the clouds. I had all these inspirational ideas, but I could never manifest anything in my life. I was always having financial issues. I was always having relationship issues. I was always I just had so many issues. But I felt like I had all this inspiration, I felt like I had the potential to do great things, but I didn't know how to put it into action. Somewhere between here and then making stuff happen, it would just get roadblocked or something, which makes sense because I was open up here, totally blocked down here. Anywho, so for instance, my knee issues that I went in, that I was telling her about. So my knees were completely blocked, and your knee chakras, they represent your ability to move forward. So me having the knee issue was my body telling me multiple things. First off, that if you have a physical issue anywhere, guarantee you that your chakra there is either blocked or partially blocked. Okay? And so when you have a pain or when you have an issue, you shouldn't look at it as a problem. You should look at that as, this is your body. You don't even have to guess what you need to do to heal. There's something related to that area that needs to heal in order for you to get back to wholeness, 100% health, which is where we're all supposed to be, which is where we all can be. I truly don't believe that anything is irreversible or any of that stuff. So obviously my knees were blocked. Once my knees became unblocked, which is very simple for somebody who does Reiki to do. I do that now as part of my, part of my business. That's, something that I do because I'm so passionate about it. Not only did I quit feeling like I was stuck in my life, I all of a sudden just knew how to move forward. And my knee problems went away. So these were problems that I had for years. I mean, since I was in high school, which was, let's see, I'm 32. So, over 14 years, and in the matter of a couple months that was gone. But it wasn't just gone on the physical level, it was gone on the mental, emotional level too. Every body part represents something, okay? So once I got fully balanced, everything in my life started changing. Because everything was connected, and I was able to take this inspiration that I had out here and turn it into real stuff, really helping people, really creating things, really putting my ideas out there, really moving forward and creating this life that I want. And so fast forward to now, I lately I've been having, since I started my weight program, kind of tweaked my, I don't know if it's like your rotator cuff or what it is, muscle behind my shoulder blade. And that was a couple months ago. And I've been like trying to work it out on and off, but it doesn't seem to be going away. And then, you know, my wrist too is starting to tweak a little bit. And I do a lot of push-ups in the program that I'm doing right now. But I know deep down that if there wasn't some sort of weakness in the chakra, that I wouldn't be susceptible to those physical issues. But so I was going in for my Reiki session and for my personal one, because I still get Reiki from my mentor. And we always set an intention before the appointment. So my intention this time, like going into it, I just had this feeling, like, what do I want right now? And I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm taking on a lot. Like, I feel like I'm putting maybe a lot of pressure on myself. I just feel like I'm carrying a lot, you know, in terms of not physically carrying a lot, but occasionally I am because I'm lifting weights. But just the feeling of like, let go of some of that pressure, you know, quit feeling like you have to take so much physical action, you know, maybe focus more on my energy. So I need to let go a little bit of, I was just feeling heaviness, you know, like holding too much stuff. So I go in and she checks me, and this arm was like pretty much not fully blocked, but on the counter. I'm going to show you guys something. This is my pendulum. It's not creepy, okay? It's literally a weight on a chain. I know some people are like, oh, you know, Eastern medicine and the alternative things and the energy stuff. This is not like witchcraft or anything. This is literally based on science, okay? You are energy. Different points in your body, you have energy vortexes, okay? So I use this to tell me what's happening with the energy vortex. For instance, my hand here, okay? All I do is, I'm not moving this, I put it over the energy field, and it literally just gets sucked into the vortex in that position. So this is telling me that this one is open, balanced nicely, okay? Now if I move to my elbow, this one has been off. Okay, see how it's going in the opposite direction now? What that is telling me, and it's going strong, what that's telling me is I'm not taking in energy there. It actually means that energy is coming out of me there, but not taking it in, so I'm not metabolizing the energy. Hey guys, I'm doing a video, okay? Jeez Louise, it's spring break. So what that's telling me is that, hey you guys, in a minute we're not going to go to Nana's if you guys can't calm down, okay? Why do I gotta bust out the threats? Anyways, so it's telling me that I'm not taking in the energy there, and so that's leaving me susceptible to these physical issues in these locations. But also, she even told me, she's like, it seems like, you know, the arm issue, maybe you're doing too much weights, or maybe you're taking on too much weight just in your life, like on an emotional level. I'm like, that is so crazy. Not crazy because I believe in it, but I'm like, that's exactly what my intention was going to be. So instinctually, I already knew what I needed to do to move forward, which is let go of some of this pressure that I'm putting on myself a little bit, and just allow it to come into my life, because that is how you bring stuff into your life, is by allowing it. So and that's my body. My body's trying to talk to me without using words, trying to tell me, point me into the way that I'm going to grow, and point me to what I need to do to be successful. Hey guys, we're not going to go to Nana's if you guys can't relax. I'm trying to do a video here. Okay. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, and also too, just on the mental level a little bit. You know, I learned a long time ago that I used to be afraid of fear. I was so afraid that I was afraid. It's like exponentially afraid of fear or something. I was like afraid to be afraid, which is kind of ridiculous. But now when I look at my fear, you need to go over there until I'm done. Go sit down, please. I'm almost done, okay? I'll be there in a minute. Just, you can tell me what's going on in a minute. I'm doing a video. Live video for you. Okay, so now I look at fear and I don't turn the other way when I'm afraid of something. I know now that if I'm afraid of something, that is actually pointing me to what I need. I mean, unless it's like a bear or something chasing me, okay, that you can run away from that kind of fear. But if it has to do with like people judging you, or like, you know, putting yourself out there, or that kind of stuff, that is the kind of fear that you don't want to run away from. That's the kind of fear that your higher self is pointing you toward what you need to do to grow as a person. Okay. So yeah. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, so you might have seen me doing some posts on like my green tea lattes that I'm obsessed with now. For those of you who don't know, this is matcha. I love it. And it's like, it says this one has like 100, how is that even possible? 137 times the EGCG of brew green tea, which is like the main, I don't know, awesome thing in it. And I love this stuff. Anyways, you don't even need a lot of it, but I just use almond milk and like some water, and I get that hot, And then what I found, what I was missing was this, was maca, which is also in my Shakeology, but I'm cool with getting double. It gives it like this earthy taste that is so good. So I put like a teaspoon of this and then like a fourth to a half a teaspoon of the matcha. And then I use either like stevia or actually I use monk fruit extract, which is a no calorie sweetener, but still natural. It is so good. And yeah, it just makes me happy. But anywho, for those of you who, I'm going to post the link to my blog where I talk more about Reiki, talk more about the chakras. And I just want everybody to know, like, what I do in my groups. It's typically when someone comes into my groups, like, I'm taking them on as more of a life coach than just like a Beachbody coach or something like that. You know, my goal is to help everybody change their life from a very holistic standpoint, which includes your mental, physical, spiritual health. And if you can get right on these like energy levels, and I mean, I just know how I was like a hot mess for such a long time, and once I started implementing this stuff, it just changed my whole life. And so that's what I want for all of you guys. That is my passion in life, and so I'm lucky enough that it's my quote unquote job, you know. If anybody's interested in the chakras more or thinks that it might benefit you, and that's pretty much everyone, you can send me a message, comment below. I want to get balanced, and I'll reach out to you. I don't take a ton. I take appointments when I can, so it's kind of hit or miss. But if it's something that you wanna try, definitely shoot me a message and I'll get you in. All right. I hope everybody has an awesome day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.